Hello, today I'm going to be showing you how to make rolled flowers. I'm making a Christmassy flowery hair clip and I'm going to be using this red felt, which is 70% wool, 30% rayon, I believe. I got this from eBay. I can't quite remember where I got this from. I've had it a while. But you need a good quality felt if you're making hair clips or hair accessories, because if you use a cheap craft felt, that will sort of tend to break up or, you know, go a bit sort of fluffy over time, whereas this does stay nice. And I'm also using this very fine white glitter. It's like an iridescent white. You want a fine glitter. This one's very fine, a little bit too fine really, but I'm going to just be using that today. And I've got a Cuttlebug die cutting machine. Lots of different brands are available in die cutting machines. This one I've just had for quite a few years because I used to make greeting cards, and it does the job. And these dies, I get all of my dies, or most of them, from AliExpress. A lot of people are a little bit worried about ordering from AliExpress because they're not sure if they're going to be good enough quality or if they're even going to turn up. But you'll probably notice from my videos I do love AliExpress. Things are just so cheap on there, and most of the time, about 90% of the time I'd say, they do work and they do turn up, and you know, so I do trust it. So the die I'm using today for my rolled flower is this one. Again, that was from AliExpress. That came in a pack of, I think, three different sizes, but this was the biggest one. So this is the one I'm going to use today. I'm going to start by taking my felt, and I'm going to just sort of cut a shape around this, because I don't want this whole thing won't run through the Cuttlebugs. This is like A5 size, so I'm just going to cut around here just so there's enough to cut with my die. And I will need 3 of these on the red felt, and I'm going to do one cut around this and then one of these for my middle flower on the white glitter. So I've cut out my shapes that I need roughly. I've just drawn around my die and cut out 3 red and 1 of the white glitter. The plates I'm using today are an A and a B, and this one I bought on eBay as an extra because that works with the dies. That's slightly thicker than the B plate, so that allows more pressure on the dies. So I'm going to put my A plate at the bottom, because as you can see, this is the one that gets cut, the die cut is face down, because these ridges are what cut the shapes out. So you put your die face down. So I'll start off with a piece of felt. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. You place your die on your piece of felt, so that's covering the whole of the fabric, and then you put the slightly thicker plate on the top. Just push that in so that takes, and then you can start running that through. I'm doing it on carpet, so I'm going to have to use my other hand for a moment so I can get that handle. And you just run that through your machine. These die cut machines, they have suction plates on the bottom, so if you use them on a hard surface that does stick. But obviously I haven't got a desk in my room, so I'm just showing you for now on my carpet. So I've ran this through the machine just once, and if you have a look, you'll see that that's cut right through that fabric. So now you can just take this excess away. Flower shape kind of ready to roll. I'm going to do the same now with all of these pieces. So I have here all my pieces ready cut out, and I've got my hot glue gun, which is nice and warmed up. First of all, I'll show you how to roll a rose on its own, and then the next rose I'm going to roll is with the glitter as well, like layered in with the felt. So I'll show you how to do one on its own first. Now when you've got your rolled flour cut out, you always start from the outside and you work your way to the centre, and this round part in the middle, that kind of, you glue that to the bottom of the flour and that holds it all together. So I'm just going to start by making sure that's all nice and separated, and then starting from the outside, it don't matter if you want to do it this way or if you want to do it this way, you want to pop a little piece of glue on that first end and start by rolling that quite tightly for the centre, like that. And once you've got that first part in place, you can then start rolling that round, concentrating on just gluing this bottom part. So on this particular shape, every time I get to like a little tab like that, I'll just pop a little bit of glue on it and roll that round. Just at random intervals, pop a little bit of glue on just along the bottom, making sure you keep this bottom in line. You don't want to end up sort of rolling up higher, and you don't want to end up rolling lower. So keeping all of this in line. And placing random intervals of glue. You can get a fair few strings with hot glue, that can't be helped. And this is what you're starting to get so far. You can just see the shape of that flower starting to take place. I don't know if I'd actually call this a rose. It's kind of like a carnation petals, kind of frilly around the edge. But I've been calling them roses because you would get away with that as a rose as well. So I'll just show you this at the bottom so you can see. As I'm rolling, I'm keeping this all in line. I'm not going higher, I'm not coming lower. Just making sure you're keeping that all in line with that bottom piece. Pulling away any stringy bits of glue as you go if you can. This round piece here will cover this bottom. Oh, sorry, can you see that? So as you get to this bottom part here, you've got this round tab, and as you bring that round, that falls across the bottom like that. So on that last piece, you want to place some glue on the bottom of the petal and all around that round circular tab, and then you can push that all over the bottom of your flower. You see a little bit of glue there, but don't worry too much about that because you won't see that once you've got it onto the clip or the headband, whichever you're making. So that's the bottom of the flower, and there's your completed rolled flower. Now sometimes I will use a diamante or a pearl, and you can just pop a diamante or a pearl in the middle of that. But I think we're going to keep that plain today. I don't know, we'll see how we feel as we're making it. So there's one of your flowers rolled. Now the next one, I'm going to use the felt and the glitter. So again, pulling that apart and the glitter. Now I'm going to use these together, one on top of the other. So starting both the same way. Sorry, my battery's just come up as low. So starting both of these the same way, I'm going to layer them up, but I'm going to slightly start in so they're not dead on top of each other. So instead of starting so that's dead on top of each other, I'm going to just skip it back a little bit so these petals fall in between. And starting in the same way, we're going to dab a piece of glue here and on the white. And we're going to start by rolling that tightly. This is fiddly, be careful not to burn your fingers. Just to start off that centre piece, and once you've got that first bit rolled, you can then start doing the same, just dabbing a piece of glue here and there and bringing that round. So on this piece I'm going to put a bit of glue on the glitter and a little piece on that felt as well, so I'm making sure that they're both going to stay secure. Again, making sure you keep both pieces level. Now they've started to fall so that these two are in line with each other, but that don't matter, just keep going as you are. Just keep rolling that round, alternating with the glue on the glitter and also onto the felt. Make sure you occasionally put a bit of glue on that felt as well to hold that all in place. Just bring that in front. I'm just making sure that these are keeping in line as I'm going round. Move them out of the way so we can see what we're doing. Right, we're nearly at the end. It does get a bit fiddly. It is fiddly doing it with the two layers, but that does give a really nice effect and that just breaks it up a bit. I always work in odd numbers, so obviously I'm doing 3 flowers on my hair accessory today. I always would work in either 3 flowers or 5 flowers, but 3 just seems like a good number. Right, we're getting to the end now, so I'm going to bring that all the way round. Now you've got obviously these 2 end bits now, so I'm going to glue the glitter first because that's on the inside, a bit on the petal, a bit on the bottom. And glue that over the bottom of that flower, and then I'm going to finish with the red. So that's what the bottom of your flower looks like. Don't worry too much about that because you won't see it. And then when you look at the top, as you can see, I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue in here because sometimes you can see at the end where it hasn't quite stuck, where you've gone round. And as you can see, that glitter, you just sort of flatten that out a bit, open up the flower, just remove any pieces of stringy glue, and that gives a really nice two-tone effect. So I'll just show you next to this plain one. It's a lot fuller and it just gives it a little bit more detail. So now I'm going to roll my third flower, the same as I did the first one, and then we're ready to assemble them all together. So now we have our 3 beautiful rolled flowers, one with the glitter and 2 just plain felt. Now we can have a little play and see how we're going to lay these out. Now one way you could lay these out is in like a triangle, this kind of thing. You could have them like that on a hair clip, or you can do it how I'm going to do it today, which is all 3 of them in a line. And I'm going to be using these snowflakes. Now I have actually got a snowflake die which I could use on my Cuttlebug machine, but I found these ones on eBay and I had them spare, so I thought, well, I'll use them today. They are just iridescent, like kind of padded snowflakes. They are, each of these squares is 1 inch, so they're 2 inches. And I'm going to lay each flower on a snowflake, so like this kind of design. So lay all 3 snowflakes out and then a flower on each one like that. Now to do this, I'm going to take another piece of my red felt. Now I don't want these flowers too far apart, I don't think, so I want it around, I want to cut this felt to around 3 inches. So using my board, I'm going to just cut a 3-inch strip, and I'm just going to cut this into kind of a rectangular shape. You don't have to be too fussy with it, because that's going to be at the bottom of your clip, so you won't see it. I've just rounded the ends, so I've got this strip which is around 3 inches long, just under 1 inch wide, and I'm going to start by laying my snowflakes onto this piece of felt. I'm going to glue them on there. So I'm going to do the centre one first, I think. No, actually I'm going to do the outside ones first. So I'm going to glue the outside ones on first. Put some hot glue in the centre. Place that on the very end of that piece of felt. And this one is going to go on the other side, on the very end. And I'm doing it so that these bits point upwards, so they're the same direction. And then this one I'm going to lay in the centre. Again with one of these spikes pointing upwards, so they're all in the same direction. So this is what we've got. This is going to be the base of our design. And now we can stick our flowers on. So I'll start with the centre one first. So I'm putting plenty of hot glue on the bottom of that rose. And I'll place that right in the centre of that snowflake in the middle. Hold that in place, and then we're going to take the other 2 and place them either side. And the last one. There you go, like that. So this is what you've got now. Isn't that just beautiful? I love these rolled flower clips. They look so expensive as well. Very luxury. And the snowflakes just make it look Christmassy with the red and white flowers. Now I have some smaller little snowflakes which I thought about popping on there. I'm not really sure, but I think I like how they are, to be honest. Oops, sorry, I'm touching the camera. No, I think today I'm not going to use these smaller ones. I like it how it is. So now we can decide if we're going to pop these onto a baby headband. This is a dainty, one size fits all. Now if I was to use a dainty today, I would just open that up a little bit. I would place some hot glue along here and glue that straight on to my dainty like that. And then you would have a gorgeous little baby headband. Or you could even pop that on an Alice band. You could pop it on the, if you had an Alice band, pop it on the side of an Alice band. But I'm going to keep this one for my little girl because she hasn't got one of these. And my little girl prefers to wear hair clips. So I've got a couple of different sizes here. This one is a 3-inch clip. And this one is 2.5 inches. So I think the 3-inch is going to be the size for me to use today, looking at that. So I'm just going to flip this over. And I'm going to place my clip slightly to this end so I can pinch it open. So I'm not going to place any glue on this bit here because obviously that's the bit you want to pinch. I'm just going to place the glue from here downwards. And I'm just going to hold that on my piece of felt at the bottom. Now, a good way to make sure that clip isn't going to come off would be to cut another 3-inch piece of strip. Well, actually I won't need it 3-inch because I'm not going to go all the way to the end, so around 2.5 inch. So I'll go for 2.5 inch. As you can tell, I didn't plan this out completely. I was just making it for my little girl, and I thought, well, I'll make a video as I'm doing it. So I'm just kind of planning it as I'm going along with you guys. So I'm cutting this strip, which is slightly smaller than this strip, and I'm going to use that to sandwich my clip between the flower design and this piece of felt, and that way I'll know that that clip is lovely and secure and that's not going to come off, which is a good idea, especially if you're making bows to sell. The last thing you want is someone to buy one of your designs and the clip to come off. And that hasn't happened to me before. So we're going to bring that over and just push that all down the sides. I'm just going to run some more glue along here, look, 'cause it's not quite taken to that felt. Push this side down first, and then this side. I was doing this for a customer, I would have made it a little bit neater, but just so you get the idea, this one is for my daughter. And you're not going to see any of the underside because that's going to be clipped onto her hair. And there you have your finished Christmas rolled flower and snowflake hair clip. I hope you found this tutorial helpful today. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.